Well, good morning, everyone. It's morning here. I think it's afternoon where you are, Mr. John Burton in the house. I'm so excited right now. I'm Lisa Griggs. I'm your host for today's interview. This is a Team Win Winners Circle interview with Mr. John Burton. John, I wanted to show you this really quick before you start speaking. I wore my special costume for you today. Can you see? It's my scrubs.
Oh yeah,
Yep, I
yeah.
got my scrubs on because you have this kind of like title in Team Win, which is really super awesome. When I first met you, everyone would kind of call you the doctor. So tell us about that. Like, who are you and why does everybody call you the doctor on Team Win? I want to know all about it because I
Ah,
want special scrubs today just for you.
oh wow. Oh well. Hi, Lisa. Good morning to you. And yes, it is noon here in Central Austin, Texas. Hi, everybody. I am John Burton, and I am born and raised in Austin, Texas. Moved to Florida for my high school years, and then joined the Marines in '91 after graduation, and came back in 1995 because it's a wonderful city. A lot of my family is here. Most of my family, that is. To go right to it to answer your question, basically, I grew up underneath a vehicle. So my dad was we did all of our own mechanics and stuff. So we were taking transmissions out when I was 5. We did all kinds of stuff. Everything was done on the property. He was a farrier, which is like someone who puts shoes on horses, so a horseshoer. He was an auctioneer. We did welding. We had a 55 John Deere tractor with 13 pieces of farm equipment lined up down the driveway on the side with PTO. So we did all that kind of country life. So I learned a lot of troubleshooting on the spot. We did electrical work, all kinds of stuff. So with that, later in life, I started getting interested in nutrition and how the body works, basically biology, whether it's male or female. I did the general overview stuff, all the bullet points, learned about that. Then I started learning about the differences between men and women, the similarities, and of course, the minute differences that definitely separate us. And then finding out later on that everything is hormones. So when you talk about a chemical reaction or a chemical imbalance, it's basically hormones because hormones are sending signals. Everything in the universe is frequency. I got into frequency. I got into a lot of Tesla work, a lot of ancient history going back 400 plus thousand years. I started just learning about all that stuff. So when it came to auto mechanics, I started, I turned into my own shade tree mechanic. I would do my own brakes. That stuff's kind of easy, but the stuff inside the engine itself, if you hear this noise or whatever, you feel this vibration, what could be causing that? So I got really good at troubleshooting auto mechanics. And then I just kind of naturally turned that side of me with nutrition. So I learned about high fructose corn syrup. Then I became a label reader. What is at the top of the ingredients is the most part of the ingredient, all the way down to the bottom of the list is the minus the minor amount that's in there. So label reading a lot, throwing away a lot of stuff that was in the house. Can't have that. Nope, that's poison. So and then I started looking at the reactions in the body with different things. And so just like a master mechanic would be like a doctor of mechanics, what does a doctor do primarily? They do triage, they troubleshoot. And then if they're allopathic, they're going to find out which one of their pharmaceutical drugs is going to work with something, or if there's a natural supplement, say get more vitamin C or whatever it's going to be. So that's what it turned out to be. And I've been with other direct sales companies that had some Me Too products, whether it was vitamins and minerals and stuff like that. So I would look at my competition and find out who had a better B12 than us, or if we had a better one than them, and just whatever. And then, of course, getting into NewULife blew me away when Jocelyn introduced this to me March of 3 years ago. It was like, oh my gosh, everything is lining up to this one foundational product that I'm sure we're going to get into, and the kind of people that it attracts, bringing on board, or just as a customer, or just to touch their lives in some way, shape, or form, to let them know it doesn't matter who you are on this planet, you don't have the gel, because once you see it and hear it, you can't unsee it, you can't unhear it.
It's so true. I want to thank you for serving, first of all, our country. I appreciate that. I love our country so much, and I always try to hold people that serve our country in very high honor. So thank you so much for that.
You're quite welcome.
And I love your story. I didn't know that you had so much of a background in nutrition. And I want to segue. We're doing an interview with your personal sponsor, Jocelyn, this afternoon. I can't wait to get into the meat of things with her. But because you know so much about the body, and with regard to hormones, I do want to talk about Somaderm right away, right out of the gate, because obviously, this is an amazing product. I love the product. I, unlike yourself, have only been on it a few months, but it is complete. Like, I can't live without it. And I notice that when I don't use it, that that I can just tell a difference. I can tell a difference in my mood. I can tell a difference in just the way I sleep. I sleep better when I'm using my Somaderm. There's just my overall well-being. I mean, I think when I first started using it, I was like, oh my gosh, am I having an outer body experience? Like, what is that? And because you know so much about quantum physics and universal laws and these things, I would love to get your perspective on that. Like, I would love to get your angle on that, because when I first used it, I kid you not, John, Dr. John, I was thinking I was having an outer body experience. Is that possible? Like, what was going on in my body that was causing it to go through all of these different shifts?
Oh my gosh. So let me quantify that. The more that I learn about, the more I realize that I don't know. And I didn't know that I was quote unquote smart at one time until I guess, what it is a lot of times with people is that a switch will get flipped inside your brain, and all of a sudden the overall word for me is care. You start caring about something, then everything you'll start absorbing the information. You'll just start really caring about whatever it is. And when it comes to the gel, when you are producing growth hormone at higher rate than normal, and also at the same time, the ingredients of Somaderm is detoxifying the other, the 12 glands of your endocrine system. You are detoxifying them, you're wiping them out, drink a bunch of water so you can flood it out of your system, but you're also sending that microdose of somatropin HGH to your pituitary to produce that growth hormone, which also will send signals to the other glands to produce the other 49 hormones. And then you're finding out, of course, vitamin D3 is also a hormone as well as a vitamin. So I think there's a couple other ones too, but whatever. When you start getting more growth hormone, and this is before you hit homeostasis, which is total hormonal balance. When you produce more growth hormone, you have two nervous systems, and most of us are in fight or flight. Okay, fight or flight is the layman's term for the sympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
So, you may think, hey, I've got a great job, I'm paying all my bills. I can go to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of beer and come home and watch my Monday night football, and I'm free. That means I'm free. I have no worries in the world because I've covered my basic foundational troubles or concerns. But when you get on the gel, or if you're able, no matter if you take away the gel, if you're able to find homeostasis, or if you're able to get into what's called parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and relax, and hardly anybody is in that unless they're living under a rock and they have no responsibilities. Basically, you're a baby, you're an infant with good parents that are taking care of you. You don't know stress like we do. And stress is a blessing in a lot of ways, because it's how the humans are able to grow and expand and have it imprinted in our DNA, and then we carry it on through the generations afterwards. Even if you don't have children, your DNA sequence will still be carried on through others, because energy doesn't disappear, it only transfers. So when you had this feeling of out of body experience, I was told at the very first meeting that Jordan came to, and Jocelyn was there and some others. One of Jocelyn's friends named Lauren told me, she goes, John, you're going to have a feeling of being lifted.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm listening. So after starting on the gel about a week into it, so I started getting my results on day 4 in the morning. So I've used it 3 days in a row. I have sleep apnea since 1991. Boot camp, all the shots that I got took me out of my out of body experiences. If you're flying in your dreams, I've learned that's in dream state, that's an oob. That's an out of body experience. You're able to see things from a vantage point that you can only see and prove that that's a real thing. There was things that were real life, not fake, that I was actually seeing flying. So that took all that away. It took my dream state away. I was snoring. I was holding my breath was the worst part of it all. Snoring is one thing, but I have sleep apnea since 91. I've had 2 sleep studies done. I definitely have it, right? And I really don't know if there's any cure to it. But what I do know is that there's a protein that's created in your body that causes the inflammation of soft tissue. And what is your throat primarily? Soft tissue. So it'll expand. You don't have to be a heavy person with a big neck like I do. I mean, I got a big 18-inch neck.
Mhm.
You can be a thin person and still have sleep apnea.
Mhm.
So, to try to make this as quickly as possible, where people can comprehend what I'm saying, is that when you have that going on, you are going to snore. You are most likely going to be holding your breath for a long time, more sometimes than you can consciously hold your breath. And so that can create a lot of heart conditions, negative heart conditions, I should say. So to go right back to the fun part of things is when you are able to produce more growth hormone. Growth hormone is the most anti-inflammatory product or substance known for the human body. So you're going to be decreasing the inflammation of that soft tissue with more growth hormone production. Now, on the morning of day 4, I woke up and I said, hey, I think I feel a little bit better. My eyes aren't as tired. So basically every day that happened after that, for the first 5 days, I noticed that, oh, like day 5 was like, I think I dreamt. And then day 6 was like, I know I dreamt. I don't remember what it was, but I know I dreamt. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not taking a day off. I did another day because, and I got 30, 40 years of stacking up to do of all the problems. And so I said, let me do it again. So I did it. And I remember dreaming, woke up to go use the restroom, came back and went right back into the dream. Now, that doesn't happen all the time. Full transparency, I stay up really late at night. So I don't get the amount of quality sleep that I should get. But I do sleep a lot better, especially if there's no alcohol at night, then I do pretty well. If I was to have one drink, it's like it messes me up and I'll snore or whatever. But so about a week into this, I went to go visit my cousin. So he's sitting in the garage and I'm standing in the driveway and I'm talking about the product of the gel and the business itself because he understands MLM, direct sales, and he's done really well in some and then found out that he doesn't like some of them. And I was talking about how wonderful ours is. And while I was talking to him, I had this feeling in the back right center of my neck. And it was weird. I was just talking, and it was just a soft little, it's like a feeling, but not like someone touching me. It was just a feeling. And I looked back, and then I had to look down at my feet to see if I was floating. Okay. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing, Chris. And Chris was like, what's wrong? I was like, no, nothing's wrong. I feel so amazing. I have to go home right now and throw some weights around. So I was going to rush back to my apartment. It's going to take me 30 minutes to get there, change clothes. I went to the gym next door because we have a nice gym right attached to us. And I was just lit on fire, and you're not going to stay like that the entire time. But when you have that initial rush of growth hormone, which your adrenal glands are going to match with production of adrenaline, and all these things start kicking in, at the same time, it was an amazing feeling. So yeah, basically what happened is that my glands were detoxified enough to where it can start producing hormones. And that growth hormone kicked in because I thought I was doing really well. I've got good DNA. I figured, hey, you know what? I'm doing all right, but I'm snoring. There's nothing I can do about it. Wrong. So everything has gotten so much better because of that. But to put a bookend on what you're talking about of having an out of body experience, that feeling of being lifted is where you're producing that growth hormone. And then eventually, when you hit homeostasis, you will have that shift in your nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic. So sympathetic is fight or flight. We need that. If someone pulls a knife on me, I'm not just going to be all nonchalant. Oh, I'm in parasympathetic. I'm just chilling over here. No, I'm going to respond and I'm going to feel the after effects for a while. And then I'm going to calm down. I may even rub a thing of gel in my arm and let's just calm it down, produce more growth hormone. Let's get over to parasympathetic, which is what they call rest and relax mode. I call it rest and relax and heal, because the only time your body really heals is when you're not completely stressing out. If you're stressing about everything in life, even if you're watching your favorite nonsensical TV show and drinking your favorite drink, no matter what it is, and going to your go-to, whether it's a bag of chips, whatever, those are just band-aids to cover up the stress that you're going through in life. And a lot of times it's 100% not your fault. It's we're attacked from everywhere, whether it's the air we breathe, the food, the water, just the signals that we receive in blue light, the sounds that are created. I mean, we're attacked from everywhere, and I believe it's all by design. So when you get into that better mode, your body starts to heal. And there's white papers on that. I've learned about that. That's why people teach Tesla frequencies and stuff to try to heal the body. But to me, the Somaderm gel is the most foundational biohack that's ever been created on this planet, that for some reason, after 22 years, 23 years, still doesn't have any competition. 4 companies have tried to knock it off. Nobody can do it. It's just quite amazing. So enough of my ranting. Please carry on, Lisa.
I think I don't, I'm not seeing that as ranting. I love it. I just see it as going on a rampage of, good news. So, I love what you said about, cause I, at the beginning, it did feel like that. I was like, at first, when I first used it, I was very tired, after, a couple of days, I think 2 or 3, 4 days, it was like I had to sleep in the middle of the day, and my mom too. And my mom loves the product. She also is on Somaderm, and loves it, will not go a day without it. She also has a background in nutrition like you do. She owned her own nutrition company, so she is very conscious of her health and her well-being and her skin, and is just a big advocate for nutrition. So do you know anything with regard to that? Was it like resetting? Is that kind of the term? Because I know you mentioned, I think you said homeostasis, or maybe you could speak on that, because I don't really know, like, what is sleep apnea, and like what is homeostasis, I think you called it, and then going a little further, is it like your body's going through a reset, or what exactly is happening there? Maybe you could speak to
Right.
it.
Right. So my condition is sleep apnea, and sleep apnea is where that protein is created in your body. It's not the kind of protein that builds muscle or gives you sustenance. It's a protein that causes inflammation, and it causes inflammation of the soft tissue. And so, like I said, primarily your throat is almost 100%, besides your vertebrae, is almost primarily soft tissue, and it swells up. And like I said, you can be a thin person, not even having a fat neck at all. Like you can have a bird neck and have sleep apnea. And when you're producing growth hormone that is anti-inflammatory, you also help to reduce the effects of that protein. We're not saying that you can get rid of that protein. There's other methods to do that, but through diet and other stuff. But it'll help reduce the effects of the inflammation. So when you're homeostasis is the term used for when you have total hormonal balance, and that's especially crucial for women, because we all have the same number of hormones, but women are super sensitive to the balance of the hormones. So if you're looking at and it's especially so let's just go to men real fast. Men, we predominantly need more testosterone. Okay, we're testosterone driven individuals. And if you're bringing in testosterone, let's say you have low T and you're bringing in testosterone, and especially if it's a really good amount of it, there's a visible sign. Okay, women, there's not a visible sign. With men, the gland that creates testosterone are the testes. That's why they're called testes. What are they going to do when you bring in a hormone exogenously from the outside into the body? The gland or glands that's supposed to be producing said hormone goes on vacation. And what happens when it goes on vacation? It's not working out anymore. What does that muscle do when you're not working out? It just goes smaller and smaller. So the testicles will shrink. Okay, so I've talked to several men that say, yeah, I take quite a bit. My testicles are smaller. One guy says, I take a very small amount of testosterone, so my testicles are still the same. Plus, he's got great diet and exercise, so he's pretty healthy. But with us, you know, we do that. Now, women, let's go right to women, because to me, women are the most important. A woman that has a hysterectomy will lose 50% of her ability to produce testosterone, because like with men, we have one location that produces it. Women have 3 locations that produce testosterone. You get rid of the uterus, you've lost half of your ability, and the other 2 glands are not going to be like, hey, we've got to make up for it. They're just sitting there doing their own thing. But if you're already over 50 years old, those glands are already toxified through just life, whatever you're doing, drinking, eating, breathing air, all that kind of stuff. Those glands are detoxified. They're not going to be able to keep up, because also your pituitary gland has shrunk to the size of a pinhead. Like literally, guys, it's supposed to be the size of a kidney bean, which is the size of my pinky nail. But if it shrinks to look at the size of a pinhead and go, oh my God, my pituitary gland in your brain is that size. Also, your adrenal glands are that size as well. They're supposed to be the size of a kidney bean sitting on top of your kidneys. No. Why do we have adrenal failure? Why do we have all these issues? Everything that's going on in life is hormonal. So the most significant results that I see with the Somaderm gel are with women over 50. A little phrase that I like to say all the time, and I may have coined it myself, for me at least, I don't care, is I came for the gel, but I stayed for the testimonies. So I'm always listening to the gel intel, even if I'm not speaking, even if nobody from Team Win is given their testimony, whether it's the male or the female, I'm listening to those because I want to hear those testimonies, because I can use those testimonies. There might be one moment of magic in there that I can put in my tool belt, that when I'm talking to prospects and they're telling me about their issues, I can go, oh yeah, I've heard about that particular issue. And I heard it from one of the people that's a business partner of mine that is going through it or went through it, and they were able to resolve that issue. Or, you know, it's homeopathy. And to be compliant, everybody, with not just a company, but the FDA, we can't make certain claims. So I'll say that there are people that are experiencing certain symptoms that are the relief of symptoms, and it's for them. It may work for you, it may not work for you. And we have to use the word may. So let's just be 100% transparent that we are an FDA, our product is produced in an FDA registered lab, and it's at a maximum strength dosage, but it's still a microdose. The maximum strength dosage means that it's just underneath pharmaceutical grade. Pharmaceutical grade would be FDA approved. And then a doctor can prescribe it, and you can make all kinds of claims all you want, even a lot of negative claims, and just get away with it. So we have maximum strength right underneath that of a pharmaceutical grade, and that's microdose will send a signal to your brain to be able to produce more growth hormone, and then you can start producing all the hormones. Okay. Oh, so just to put a bookend on that about women. When a woman has hormonal imbalance, especially if she's had her hysterectomy, or she's had a hysterectomy and the uterus is taken out and she's got all this imbalance going on, society likes to say that she went crazy. Women don't go crazy. Women, you have to understand, everybody, that women are super sensitive to hormones being in balance. And once they go out of balance, she can start being irrational or all these different things. And it's not her fault, okay? It is just hormonal imbalance. And if you can do the reset, the question that you had, Lisa, is there a reset? I know you're just throwing out some bullet point questions, which are great, because you can call it a reset, because with all the endocrine disruptors going on out there, everybody, the first one that I learned about was high fructose corn syrup, and what it does for the endocrine system is just amazingly bad. But we have found that we can say that we have shown studies and proof that we are able to reverse the effects of certain endocrine disruptors in the body. And I'll just leave it at that for now.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, with all of that said, you've got me so excited that I want to put my Somaderm on right now. Yeah. I figured, like, I better just put this stuff on right now. Don't forget. So, you know, it's the other thing is it's so amazing. And maybe as I'm putting it on and showing everyone how we do this, is maybe you could talk about the delivery system, because sure. I love that this is not another pill. It's not another, powder. It's not it's very, very easy to use. And I use mine 5 days a week, and then I take the weekend off. But I skipped yesterday. So I'm going to show everyone what I do is I actually just use one pump, but maybe you could speak to that.
Sure.
So I just use one pump, and then I just kind of, just a little bit, just like that, and to my wrists, and then I just let it go at that.
Okay.
So maybe you could speak to the delivery system, because I don't want to take another pill. I mean, and obviously you have a background in nutrition, so you know what's out there. And mention that, there's companies that have tried to recreate, what Alexi has done in this product, which I have seen that. And I just think first in wins, so I love this product so much. I can't be without it.
Right. Let me clarify that my background in nutrition is just what I've learned on my own. I don't have any actual schooling. I appreciate, I've had people that call me, they've heard that I have a nickname, Dr. John, so much that they go, where did you go to school and all that stuff, right? It's like, no, I've looked at college courses, I've looked at criteria, and I go, I know more than that, for the most part. When it comes to nutrition, what the FDA teaches and stuff. And I'm going, well, there's some things that I don't know, but those things I don't care to know. And maybe I should know, but it doesn't really matter. I've also looked at holistic nutrition. I've thought about being a holistic nutritionist. When I brought my mom to the first rehab after she had her stroke 4 years ago, the first rehab I went to, and I would go all the time. I'd usually go every week and go visit. And I would talk to the nurses, talk to the CNA staff, and we'd be talking about stuff. I'd talk to the doctor. And then I didn't know that there was a running bet going on in the nurses, all the staff. They were wondering what my profession was. And the number one profession came up that John's a nutritionist, right? No, I don't. I know a lot of things because I'm attracted to when I don't know something, like when Ellie Goldstein comes up and corrects me about something, or when Alexi corrects me about something or just says something new, I go, boom. And it literally, I almost feel the pulse in my brain open up another avenue to go down that channel to learn more about that. And how does it correlate? Because to me, the catacomb of rabbit holes intersect like ants. The ants, when you look at a glass, you can see the catacomb that happens, and they all intersect, and you go, where's the truth lie? Where's the absolute truth, not just this truth or that one? The delivery system, I don't want to take another pill, and I thought that it's just going to be injections with growth hormone, because the growth hormone molecule is too big to absorb through the skin. So Alexi knew that, and he's like, how do I get that? So just like zinc, okay, people want to take zinc to not get sick for the most part, but zinc is not easy to absorb. So if you take zinc with hydroxychloroquine or quercetin, it'll help force the zinc into the cellular structure. So just like, and zinc is a literally fat molecule. And how do you know that? Like if you're doing sunscreen that has real organic zinc in it, it's going to be thick and pasty, and it's going to take you a while to get it in your skin. So Alexi invented a process known as SomaTech. Okay, SomaTech technology allows the growth hormone molecule, which consists of 191 amino acids, it's able to take that and force it not just through the skin. You have 7 layers of skin. He's able to have it to penetrate all the layers of skin, because every layer of skin is another process of how your body processes things. Like when sunlight hits your skin, it just doesn't turn into vitamin D. Yeah, it does, but where in those layers does it start to do that? And what in your body can you put in your skin to, like iodine, nascent atomic iodine? You consume that, it goes into your skin from your thyroid, and you can help produce the ability to convert that sunlight radiation into vitamin D3. And then we have another product that's coming out soon on the Untypical line that we're going to probably briefly talk about, that has certain ingredients that help the sunlight to turn that into vitamin D in your skin for your body as well. So that we have the only transdermal approach for this delivery system. So instead of taking injections that cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month, you're taking 1 or 2 injections. And I know I've talked to some people that take really small amounts of it, but you're still putting that gland on vacation. You have to get your blood work done constantly to find out what you're missing in that that balance. You're not getting a balance. I'm sorry. There's women that are taking testosterone saying, oh my gosh, my libido is through the roof and stuff. So what about everything else in your life? Because that's just going to be short-lived, and that's not life. Everything needs to happen. And what about getting your libido back and having everything else balanced in your life, like your cognitive, your way you can deal with adversity in life and all that. So when you're just rubbing this in, and I like how you're saying you're just doing one pump, because the recommended dosage, you can only fit so much on a bottle. The recommended dosage is 2 pumps in the morning, 2 pumps at night. The nighttime dosage is the most important as you're going to bed, because it takes 20 minutes for it to activate in your body, 45 minutes for it to process out of your body. So if you're laying down and you got that in your gel, in your body, they say within 20 minutes you're going into REM sleep anyway. So aside from the gel, that when you're in REM sleep is the only time you're producing growth hormone anyway. So why not stimulate it to produce more while you're sleeping? Because that's when your body's repairing itself. So when you're doing one pump instead, it seems like it's getting really popular now to do one pump 4 times a day instead of 2 pumps twice a day. So you do one when you wake up, maybe one later on in the morning, like late morning, maybe sometime in the afternoon, just to give yourself a little bit of a kick. And then, of course, the most important dosage being at night. So there you go.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you talked about the balance and the fact that it's transdermal, which, to me kind of equates, and correct me if I'm wrong, but because I'm kind of like the newer kid on the block, but with regard to the delivery system, it reminds me of like liposomal technology. So sometimes like skincares will have liposomal technology. So they'll go into the skin and then they'll kind of penetrate through all those layers, which is what you were alluding to. Is that sort of what this is kind of like a delivery system that takes it beyond topical, I guess, and really, gets down in there, and so that you can just have like quicker, faster, more effective results? Is that kind of, am I on the right track with that?
No, you're exactly right. And all these other products, I mean, I used to do transdermal magnesium, and the only place that they said to put it was the bottom of your feet, which, by the way, using the gel on the bottom arch of your feet, not the ball, not the heel, that is super absorbable. And I preach that all the time. I don't practice it. It's something that I need to do at night. Just go ahead and put it on. It absorbs super quickly. And people that don't maybe they have some malabsorption issues with the gel. There's going to be a small amount of people that don't absorb very well. They're what's called resistant. The people that do the bottom of the feet get the results at there's 30% of people that don't get the results right away with the transdermal approach that we have. Okay. But those people that put it on the bottom of their feet, 97% of those people start getting the results. Okay. And trust me, you can put it on the bottom of your feet. Oh my gosh, what if I got to get back up and go walk? Yeah. In less than a minute, I've gotten up and walked and there's nothing sticking to my feet. I mean, it really absorbs on the feet. So that transdermal magnesium, they said the only place to put it was the bottom of the feet. It was super effective. It was a fad. I did it for a while. It was great because we all need that magnesium. What is magnesium? It feeds the batteries of the cells, which is the mitochondria. So, but when you're I'm losing myself. So when you go back to the question of the transdermal delivery system, all these other companies with their products, those molecules are absorbable through the skin. So it's already transdermal. Transdermal is just the ability to transfer through the dermis. Dermis is skin. You've got epidermis, 2 layers, and you got dermis, which is 5 layers. But like I said, the growth hormone molecule is so big that it doesn't really just go right in. So Alexi had to find a way to get that larger molecule to penetrate the skin, and he invented it by the time of 2001 and was able to get that to penetrate. And it's like, boom, there it is. And it's a microdose anyway. You can keep putting more and more and more and more on. It's not like you're going to overdose on it. The only thing you might do is have so much of the other ingredients that detoxify the system. You better be drinking a bunch of water, which, by the way, when you're using the Somaderm gel, the first 2 or 3 months, drink as much clean water as possible. Because while you're detoxing all that crap out of your glands that you've accumulated over these decades, it's going to go right back into your blood system. And the most negative side effect that I've heard, everybody, is just a little headache. Because when you have toxins running through your system, you get a headache. You drink a bunch of clean water, it's going to flush it right back out. You're fine. There are no negative side effects to Somaderm gel.
Yeah, this is such an awesome conversation. I'm like so blessed that you did this interview with me today. I feel like I've just got this huge education about what I'm actually using, you know. I think when I first came to Utah and I had not yet tried the Somaderm and everybody's talking about it, everybody's talking about their testimonies. I kind of was just borrowing that, really. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, meeting you and meeting, you know, Jocelyn and Jordan and, you know, everyone's talking about what this product does for them. And I was like, okay, well, there must be something here. Joe was like, come over here. Let me put this on you right now before you go to bed tonight. And I was like, okay, you know, and it was just such a cool experience. You know, I sort of wish I could go back to like that first time I took it because my body really really took to it. And as far as the water, you know, is there a difference, John, just in your opinion? I only pretty much drink alkaline water, like I have it, you know, here at my house, and that's the water that I choose to drink. Does that matter? Do you think if it's alkaline or if it's better, or do you have any opinion on that? Just curious, out of curiosity.
You know, I definitely know about alkalized water. Be careful of that. You might have to check your pH because there's acidic and then alkaline. I do nothing but distilled water.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's just me.
Okay.
Distilled water is super clean. It actually goes down even easier. Just to let people know that there was a myth that says, oh, if you distilled water is only for irons, like when you're ironing clothes and stuff like that. No, it's going to take away minerals out of your body, and that was a huge scare. And it's just propaganda. And then I learned that yes, it does take minerals out of your body, but only inorganic minerals. So you can drink the distilled water as much as you want. I actually feel myself, especially when I first started doing it, is flushing out more inorganic minerals out of my body. And you can tell because it's coming out of your sweat, it's coming in your urine, it's, you know, it's probably in your fecal matter. There's a difference for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I do primarily that all the time as it is. But if someone wants to focus on the detox stage, which is the first 2 and 3 months of using Somaderm, I recommend that. In my opinion, that's what works for me. I don't know enough about what the base of the alkalized water is. What is it before they alkalize it to whatever pH they put it at? But I would say that that's pretty safe. That's just my opinion. And I'm glad you said that because if as long as we say that, guys, we can kind of remain more in compliance. And we want to make sure that we stay in that so we can all have our company, we have our product, because there are certain entities that want to shut holistic therapy down and just use nothing but what's outside of God's medicine cabinet, as I like to say.
Yeah, I think, you know, the body is the miracle. I think we would both agree on that. You know, pharma, um, it's a very direct path. You know, if you get a pharmaceutical drug, it's A to B, and then there's these side effects. But with something that's natural that you put into the body gets to choose what it does with it. And that's why I love that the body is the miracle. The
Yes.
other thing is, John, is that, you know, it's you can try it, and if you know, don't like it, you know, it's like you don't have anything to lose. Because the company offers a 60-day money back guarantee, which I think is awesome too, because even though we're, you know, obviously having this interview today, we're talking about a lot of things health wise and our own personal testimonies of what it may or may not do for your body. Is that the beauty is that the company is so confident in the product that they are putting to market that they're willing to give you a 60-day money back guarantee, which is just awesome. You know, I mean, what do we have to lose by try it like it, you know, to me?
Right. Yeah, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You know, for $5 a day, an initial investment. Think about it, $5 a day. What does that pay for? You can't even go to Starbucks for under $7 nowadays. Because when we first started talking about this, it was like for a cup of Starbucks coffee, you can have this every single day. And a lot of people buy 2 cups, so just get rid of 1. Anyway, you're right. A 60-day, 100%, no questions asked money back guarantee. And that works also if you join as a member distributor. So for those of you who don't know, if you're wondering if there's a business aspect to it, yes, Lisa and I are technically called distributors. We have our own digital franchise with this company, and it costs us $59. That's $59. Now, if you're a Sam's Club or Costco member, like I've been a Sam's Club member since 1997, consistently every single year, and I get those better prices and all that stuff. gas, and you name it. So I paid to be a member to get that better price. And some people join this company to get a better price. We like to keep those people as just customers because you don't have any commitment and you don't have to worry about this or that. And you get a really good price anyway. It's only like $10 a month more. But people that want to not just experience our own results, but they go, hey, I'm feeling great. Whatever my results are, kind of like, she's on Calgon. Look at her, like I want that shampoo that she's on, people are going to be asking you questions. They may have come to Lisa and said, and she didn't have to say anything, but she's like, her hair, skin, and nails look a lot better because of growth hormone production. And they're like, Lisa, why does your skin look so healthy? The immediate thought might be, did you gain 5 pounds? But it could be like, you just look healthy. The way the light is reflecting off your skin is more radiant. They may have looked at your hands because you were talking to them about something and your hand was right. And they go, oh my God, your hands look, the top of your hands look great. Your nails look great. Your hair looks wonderful. What's up with that? And it's like, oh, I'm just producing more growth hormone. I'm taking this great supplement, and it's sometimes it's difficult for me to not go into commission breath by saying, it has no competition and blah, blah, blah. You have to be very casual about it. But yeah, Lisa, I mean, you look really great. When I first saw you, I think, it was in person, but you look really good right here. I don't know what you're using, but I know that you are a product of the product. You've been very successful in other companies, so you understand this and that. And then when you were introduced to this, I couldn't believe that you haven't even tried it, but you flew your butt to, Salt Lake City to come to the actual corporate headquarters to meet the formulator of this, who also, everybody, is the CEO of the company. So we have a CEO who's deeply invested with this company, and his exit plan is death. He's not going to put us on the stock market like some companies are. There's just, this is all about word of mouth, because if it was a retail, and he could have gone retail, he could have sold this to Shark Tank. It could have gone retail and it'd be sitting on the shelf for at least $400. Okay. And I'm glad it's not FDA approved, because they'll just take it and throw it in the Vatican basement and never be, given to us. They don't want us to have this. So as it is, $5 a day, no questions asked on the guarantee. On day 59, if you're just not feeling it, whatever. And on that money back guarantee, if you were to join the business and you just said, you know what, I'm just not doing this. I'm not able to make any money. There's going to be people that make zero. There's going to be people that maybe make $40 a week. And we got people that you and I both know, and I've met in person, that make 6 figures, if not just 7 figures, but multiple 7 figures every year. Because it's when you tell somebody who's serious about that, this company, that your business only costs you $59 a year, and it sounds like a joke. It almost like it should be a lot more expensive, and people may take it seriously. But because, if something's given to me for free, I may not take it as seriously. But if I had to pay for it out of my own pocket, then I'm going to take more care into that. So yeah, also, so as a customer, you can get your guarantee, and as a business owner, if it's just not working for you, you can get your money back on that as well in that 60 days. But the last point on that is that you're with us, everybody. We have a vested interest in building your business. Okay. You're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. And Lisa can attest to that, with Jordan especially, and me, of course, sometimes, just to pitch in, because I love to help other people. Because while I'm speaking about this, even right now, I'm embedding my own brain, reassuring things, or maybe I'll come up with something that I didn't know about just because I'm speaking about it. So I love having the conversations, and I do definitely. And we're only talking about this one product so far, and how much time's already gone by? But I mean, it's 40 minutes. Oh my gosh. And I just love talking to you about this. Yeah, and I know it's going to be all chopped up, but whatever, this is great. We're chopping it up as we go.
Another interview, yeah, for sure. Because we have so many great products. I mean, I think there's now 14, 15, 16. I think with the lift and the hydrate, which I do. I know that you have a big day ahead of you, and I'm just so grateful for all the time that you spent today, especially on the Somaderm, because that is the product that I started on. That was the product that really was a game changer for me. And I think just from the inside out, like you were saying, yes, I've been around a lot of companies, definitely big in the stem cell, industry, right when it was coming on the scene, hit that, very strongly, and did very, very well. And this product for me is like having 40 products in one, right? So, I mean, for the price that it is, for the price point that it is, and for what it does for the overall body from the inside out, it's not like one skincare product or one serum that I'm putting on my face. This is 40 products going into my body and then coming out. And so, you know, I'm not taking 40 products for all these different results, meaning like hair, nails, skin, hormones, attitude, mood, like I don't have to take 40 different products to get the results that one product can do. And that's probably why we spent so much time talking about it today, because, it's just such a beautiful product. And I think that there's just, like you said, there's nothing to lose, but everything to gain. That was such a beautiful, awesome statement, because what do people have? Nothing to lose, but everything to gain. I mean, that's a no-brainer to me. Like, who wouldn't do it, right?
Yes, and let me add one more thing about that on top of what you just said. Inside there is you've got this, I call the skin the canary in the coal mine. So in the old days of the coal miners, they would bring a canary down in a cage, because it would be, if the bird was to die, then the humans knew that the toxic gas that was being released was at that level. It's time to get out before it starts affecting humans. So the canary in the coal mine is our skin. And so when you have lots of acne, that's a hormonal issue. When you have eczema, psoriasis, that's usually a gluten intolerance. You can see the effects of what's going on in your body through your skin. And when you're using the gel and you start using it over time, it's been over 3 years for me. Imagine what you're going to be feeling like, or looking like, or doing like after 3 years of usage. And is this going to work for me? Am I going to get the same results as her? As a woman might ask. Well, it's homeopathy, it's microdosing. I like to say that we're all the same, but we're all different. So what works for me may not work for you exactly at that moment, but what works for you, I go, oh my gosh, that person got that, and that was an immediate result that I didn't get even after 3 years. That's okay. The gel works in the body, and it'll start fixing things that need to be fixed. Not exactly maybe what you want. Some of those things will line up, but yeah, you're going to be showing it through your skin. And I think you're doing a wonderful job. At your gel IQ is going through the roof. We did only talk about this. We did only talk about this because there's other great people that can talk about some of the other products. And if you'd like, Lisa, we can schedule another time and talk, just about MLT or just about Fortress. We have some incredible products that synergistically work with the body, that basically almost, and some of them have no competition. Some of them do, but not really when you look at the ingredients and what they do for us. But I'm really happy that we did speak only about the gel, but I'm that guy for you to talk about that. And I look forward to the other interviews that you're going to have with people. And like I said, let's set up another time, and I'd love to talk to you again.
That'd be awesome. I can't wait. Yeah. Next time, let's get out ahead of this. Maybe we could talk about Filmonite next time, because
you mentioned something.
I can talk about it right now.
No. But you did mention.
Teaser.
Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. But you talked about stem cells. There's a stem cell shiny object running around out there, everybody. You don't need to take stem cells. When you're taking the growth hormone production product Somaderm, your stem cell production goes through the roof. There's lab results for that too. You don't need it. I mean, it goes through the roof. That's why you're able to repair so well, is because you're producing your own stem cells as well. So there's that. That puts a bookend on that. And I'd love to talk about any product you'd like that we have. We have 9 products in our line.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, this one is next. This is next up.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone that's been tuning in, we're going to have John, I call him Dr. John, back. That's why I wore my scrubs today in his honor. And so he's going to be talking about Somanite next time, and how it goes with the awesome Somaderm. And John, Dr. John, or John, do that again. I love that. That's our headquarters there, where John and I met in Utah for the first time. NewULife, and here is Somaderm, and I'm Lisa Griggs, and I thank you for joining us today. And that is John Burton out of Austin, Texas. And we love you guys. We love you, Team Win, and we love all of the visitors and everyone that participated today. God bless everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.